I had to go in the house, get my jacket on. It's cool this morning. We had a little bit of rain, but not enough to do a lot, just kind of settled the dust. And we're glad of that because it was really dusty since it was cold out this morning. Bill says, "You like to make some biscuits?" "Yeah, I would." So he's over here getting the fire ready. We're sitting around the fire staying warm. The dogs come out here with us. Oh, that feels pretty good. Bill opened up the doors on that, letting the heat out. We're sitting out here having our coffee. Feels pretty good. Smells good after a rain too. Hey, why don't you tell them a story about that water tank back in the foothills where we went swimming?
Oh, okay. Well, that's been a few years ago. We ran across a big metal tank. It was about 6 foot, 6 foot tall, and probably about 20, maybe 30 foot across. But it was sitting at the base of a little small mountain, and there was a spring coming out of that, and somebody had piped in the spring, just shoved a pipe back up in there and got a trickle of water coming into that big tank. And then they had an overflow from the big tank going into a corral there, and a smaller, or like a water trough there, that the runoff water went in there because the spring was running all the time. And on the side of the tank there was some steps, wooden steps going up, and then there was a small deck about 4 or 5 foot square, maybe a little bit bigger. Kind of like a deck, but small one. Well, we had run across it before on a ride. It was quite a ways back. It's about an all-day ride getting back to it. Well, there and back home. So we, one morning we decided to go back there, and we took a change of clothes with us, and went back there and just went for a swim. And it was about 100 degrees or better. It's probably in June. June's usually the hottest time of the year out here. And well, we just had one dog with us, Angel, that used to travel with us a lot. We went back and just spent the day. There was a corral there, so we unsaddled the horses, turned them loose in there. There was grass. The corral was actually shut, and we let them in there and shut it back, shut the gate back, and they had grass to eat and water to drink, so they was happy. And we just went for a swim. And the tank there, it was pretty cold water. This dry air out here, the water takes a long time to warm up in the daytime. And spring water is cold anyway. But it was a nice swim because it got, by the time we got back there, we was 3, maybe almost 4 hours getting back to it. So we were about noon, and by then it was pretty hot. It was 100 degrees or better. And went for a nice swim there. We was there for an hour or so. But on the way back, you tend to get sleepy sometimes after a good swim, and I went to sleep on my horse. I had a good horse then, and he'd bring you home, back home. He knew the way, and he wasn't excitable. So it was a pretty good ride. We were gone about all day, but it was a nice trip. We always carry a lot of water with us on horseback, or if we go for a hike out here, there's not much water, and people get in trouble a lot out here, especially tourists. And I'm not picking on tourists, but they come here and from a place where they have abundance of water and they don't realize the danger. Some do, but some don't. There was a couple of individuals a few years ago south of here. They went out into the dunes on a hike, and I don't know whether they took water or what, but anyway, they got in trouble. They got out there, and you can get turned around even out there in the desert. You wouldn't think you would, but you can. And one of them died, actually, from exposure. The other one made it back, but one didn't make it. We've run across people before, hunters sometimes will get turned around in remote areas, and the best thing to do is just try to go downhill and keep it going. It's just easy to get turned around out here, and it's always best to take plenty of water and some food of some kind, some snacks to carry you through, because you just never know what will happen. And sometimes search and rescue is real good out here. They're really dedicated. A lot of them are volunteers, and they really try hard. But it's such a big area, especially in the wilderness areas. And in the wilderness areas, they, as far as I know still yet, it was used to the policy they could not land a helicopter in a wilderness area. They would say, if they would locate somebody that was lost, they would contact the rescue people on horseback and let them know. Several years back, there was a young boy lost in the Gila wilderness. He got separated from his family somehow, and then so they started looking for him. Well, they spotted him the helicopter crew spotted him, but they wouldn't land. They couldn't land according to the rules. I don't think that's a good rule. If there's life in danger, land and get them. Get them any way you can. But that's the way it was. I don't know if it's still that way or not. But anyway, the number one thing is to try to be prepared. You can't be prepared for everything. Things happen, you get in trouble. But that's just how it is. There's not many getting around it. I need to get busy on checking my biscuits.
Well, y'all, thanks for coming by. Listen to Bill's story. He's got to do some cooking. Thanks for watching Out West Homestead.